One, two, one, two, three. I wish I was strong. Would have known from the start, instead of waiting so long to reveal what's behind. But there's no use in talking. You made up your mind.
Introduce yourself.
Like my last name?
Like your whole birth name.
Are you serious?
Yes. Fine, you don't have to say your middle name if you don't want to.
I like my middle name.
Okay, good, then say it.
Hello. My name is Caroline Elizabeth with an S Harwood.
I like Elizabeth with an S.
Well, everyone spells it wrong all the time, even on my report card. Kind of
Really?
insults me a little bit, just a bit. I guess I've gotten over them. Yeah.
What are a couple words you would use to describe yourself?
Man, right off the bat, this is going horribly.
No, it's not.
Well, pretty introverted. Creative, I hope.
Very much so.
I mean, oh shucks. Thank you. Thank you. No. I don't know, I like fixing things and making things and everything in between. Let's see, I got one more word, don't I? I don't know, am I allowed to ring a friend?
Ring a friend? Like,
Do you know what word would you pick to describe me?
well, I was literally thinking creative right before you said it.
Well,
Which is so
Is
obvious.
that
You are creative and you are introverted, but you are also a kind soul. Exactly.
well, I guess the third one is friendly, generally.
Friendly, you are friendly.
I'm friendly in a wavelength. If I've ever gone up and openly insulted you, it was in a friendly way. I swear. I promise. Most of the time.
What is your favorite song?
Well, can I give you a song? Does it have to be a favorite song?
It doesn't have to be a favorite song, just something that you like, or maybe even something that you don't like. Anything you want to play at the beginning of your video.
No, I guess for a good song, it's a song that I've always liked. It's probably not my favorite song ever, but it's kind of one of those steady songs, you know? Like, I like it now and I'll probably like it in 5 years. And I actually heard it on Breaking Bad the first time. It's called Catch Your Own Train by the Silver Seas. It has some sweet, sweet harmonica.
Ooh, I love me some harmonica.
Don't we all?
And me some Breaking Bad. Alright, Char. I'm gonna hit you with the questions. Favorite movie, book, TV show, food, color. Please leave that in there.
Let's see, alright. Favorite, what's the first one?
Movie.
Movie. I suppose my favorite movie, or one that at least I could watch over and over again and still be really entertained by, is probably The Sixth Sense. It's a good movie.
That is a good movie.
Gotta love it. I mean, I got a lot, but you know, I'm just throwing that one out there. Also, can I do two?
Yeah, sure.
Like, how about three?
Sure.
I also liked Coraline because they did some really cool animation stuff there. I hope I can get a job like that someday. And also a movie called Empire of the Sun, which is very, very sad, but really beautiful. Okay, I'm gonna stop there before I get really, oh God!
Way to go, Taylor.
I hate you. Well, I can tell you the TV show. I
Sure.
want to go out of order.
Alright, no, go ahead.
Gotta say, I'm quite a fan of Breaking Bad. It's a great show. Also, how it's made. Oh, man, I can just sit there and watch how things are made. Like, I don't even care if you're making toothpicks. I'll sit there and watch it all day.
You would love
I like all the colors except that gross green color that looks like find it in like a diaper or something.
Like puce?
Puce?
I think that's what it's called.
I don't know, it's disgusting. It's like greenish, yellowish brown.
Yeah,
I feel like I can,
puce. That's puce.
I can live without that color, but the rest of them I like because, I don't know, you kind of need all the colors. All of them. They're all good colors. Except for that one. Well, when I was younger, I really liked reading books by Cornelia Funke. I think that's how you say her name. And she wrote like Inkheart and things like that. And I probably read that book 25 times. And 12-year-old me read that book a lot. And Neil Gaiman, I guess. These are sort of children's writers, but as a kid, I was probably influenced by them a lot. Now it's kind of too hard to say. Carry on.
Thank you. Okay, where is your favorite place in the world, and where is somewhere that you've always wanted to go but have never been?
Well, I don't want to sound super cliche and sappy, but I think my favorite place is being at home.
No one said that yet, which I love.
Are you serious?
Yeah, right? And I love home. Home is what I would say too.
Like, literally, I wish I wasn't here right now. I wish I was at home. I don't know, something about my house it's kind of cave-like. It's really comforting. And I don't know, something about it, it's an old, dusty house, but my dad grew up in the house that I'm growing up in. And, you know, myself and my sisters have grown up in it too, so it's just, I don't know, it's a special sort of place I get to be every day and hide from the world and all my social responsibilities.
Where you've never been?
Where I've never been, but I want to go. There's so many places. I'd really like to go to Italy. If not to find an Italian hunk, just to go see the beautiful art and architecture and things like that. That's kind of ancestry-wise, I had my grandmother's father immigrated from northern Italy when he was young. And my grandmother, at least, she grew up with them speaking Italian and stuff. She can't speak any Italian, but she still has that whole like family-centered kind of ideology in the cooking. And I don't know, it sort of feels like a pretty big part of my life, at least on as far as my grandmother goes.
What extracurricular, something that you do outside of school, are you most passionate about?
What? You mean like art? Is that what
Yeah,
you're saying?
that's what I was thinking.
What if I said something completely like you weren't even expecting it, like
Soccer?
synchronized swimming? No, I definitely would say art, because not only do I do it in school, but outside of school too. And just making stuff, really. I mean, I think a lot of people think of me as an artist, which I appreciate, and I'm glad that I seem pretty legit, because I am really passionate about art, but I also like kind of engineer type stuff, like fixing things, you know, sans math, but fixing things and making things and inventing stuff and taking stuff apart. So I don't know if that counts as an extracurricular activity, but that's
Definitely.
what I like to do. Also just, you know, being outdoors and hiking and running around, getting up to tomfoolery, etc.
What have been some of your favorite moments of high school?
Leaving at the end of every day. Keep that in there, that's true. No, I feel like, at least recently, I've really gotten to know some people better. I mean, I'm sure everyone, yeah, no, I wasn't talking about you, Claire. I was kidding, I was. But, you know, people who, I guess Jenna, whatever. Yeah, no, those guys, plus a few, but people that I've, I guess, really found a lot in common with in some ways, that really like going on adventures and doing, I mean, the kind of people who don't mind going into a graveyard in the middle of the night just seems like my kind of people, you know. I love you guys, oh my god. So I think that's not exactly a moment, but I mean, it's sort of an extended period of realization, I guess, over the last year or so. I think any particular great moments I've had have probably been either in the art room, or just kind of during free time with people.
All right, Caroline. What do you think are some really great things about Harpeth Hall, and what are some things that you would change if you had unlimited resources?
Well, don't get me started, honey. Oh my God, no, I'm not gonna do that.
Leave that in there.
No. You know, I like this all girls thing. I know some people don't. I like the all girls part. I don't care if there are boys or not, but I think especially for people who would, around boys, people tend to act different, especially around this age. So people who would be like normally spending their breaks touching up their makeup and stuff, and wearing their skirts extra short, which people already do, but they're a lot more laid back. It's kind of a big, I don't know, not everyone's kind of buddies, at least. Well, not everyone. But, there's kind of a general, people get along for the most part, at least in this grade. But I do like being in an all-girls place. In one way, I sort of wish they wouldn't keep on pushing the, women's empowerment speeches. I mean, as great as that is, I don't know, or even if we were talking about this in psychology, I don't think they've had anyone come in and just talk about, it's usually like a high-powered businesswoman or something, but I think there are a lot of other ways women can be empowered other than that. Even mothers are some of the strongest people ever. I really admire my mom because she's just really stoic, I guess, but yeah, maybe that's one thing I would change. Just more diversity in the speakers, because we've had some really good speakers and then some speakers that I probably would rather forget or just aren't going to remember in 2 days because I don't remember them now. But I guess that's something I would change. Also, I don't want to seem super biased here, but putting a bigger emphasis on the arts. That's the most biased sounding thing in the entire world. Fist bump from Jenna. But it really is a super important part of my life as well as a lot of people that I know. And it's just, anyone who thinks it's just art kind of thing, you know what, buddy, you need to check yourself before you wreck yourself. No, but it's really not. It's so much more than, it's just it's some people's life, and it's more important than you give it credit for. Also, I want to lay on Subi lawn. What's the big deal with that? It's a lawn, grass, nature, lawn. I'm looking directly at the camera because I'm trying to make a point. Why can't we lay on the lawn? It's no one's just gonna sit around there and strip and start tanning. At least I hope not, because that's weird, but Claire looks like she's going.
German exchange students.
The German exchange students did? Okay, well, they're...
6 years ago.
Okay, well, that's news to me, but no, honestly,
that rule was in effect before that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Honestly, though, it's a lawn. I feel like everyone should be able to enjoy it. They put a whole lot of emphasis on super manicured stuff around here, and it looks nice. I'm not denying it, but people live here, sort of. It's kind of people exist in this space. We gotta, take advantage of it, I guess. And not to continue on my little rant here, but I know Harpeth Hall's also got sort of a thing about diversity here. They like to call themselves diverse anyway. And, anyone with 20/20 vision or lower, anyone who can basically see knows that this isn't the most diverse place on earth. And it doesn't. Diversity is great, and I just think in terms of advertising, we shouldn't create some sort of false image of man, look at all this diversity we got. And once again, I just don't, maybe this is coming from someone who's who both my parents are in special education, but I don't really think a place can call itself diverse unless you have, you know, some students who might have like you know, like autism or something like that. Because to an extent, it's like, can you function at the school or not? But it's kind of, you see a lot of one type here, I guess, or at least it appears that way. And it's kind of naturally just a pretty conservative place, and I know a lot of that has to do with people's parents and personal beliefs and political views, but I just hope that everyone in the future can feel secure about where they are and, you know, not feel like they have to hide anything, really. Because high school is a tough time. If you don't think it is, then you clearly were doing something wrong, because it was tough. And anyone who says high school is going to be the best 4 years of your life, like, check yourself, man, because if these are the best 4 years of my life, then I want my money back. I'm not saying that they've been pretty great and I've changed so much and developed a lot, but, you know, go off and, it's just sort of a segue. I hate when people say segue, it's like synergy, but no, it's like one of those words, but yeah, well that's so cliche, Claire, but there's just so much more. There's so much more to life, I think. I hope, anyway. Don't waste it, man.
Absolutely.
Get on with it. Whatever you like.
Who have been some influential people in your life up to this point?
So I'm guessing I don't have to be people at school.
They can be people at school, they can be family members, they can be friends, they can be famous people. Anyone you want to say?
Famous people.
Seriously, I think someone said Meryl Streep.
Oh, wow, all right. I would like to thank Nicki Minaj and Taylor Swift. No, just kidding. Don't cut that out. But, well, I'm going to say the most cliche thing ever and say my parents, because I'll just leave it with I couldn't have made it without them. Like, I feel like sometimes I'm barely making it as it is, but without my parents I would be in a really bad spot for multiple reasons. And they've, you know, really, as much as I fight with them or, you know, don't really seem to appreciate them at the time, they really have helped me get through some really serious stuff. And, you know, my grandparents, just my family, I think my family is super important to me. And my art teacher, Rosie Pascal, she's kind of the reason that I decided to go on and pursue art. I mean, it's something that I've always wanted to do, but I kind of didn't think was a reasonable thing to do, just because people are always talking about the starving artist and things like that. Like, you know, art is fun to do on the side, but you got to get a real job. But I mean, that's not really true. Like, art is all around you, and I hope when if I get a good job, then you guys will be seeing my art sometimes, maybe, I don't know. So she has, and I got some buddies who, it's funny how you suddenly sort of start talking to people, and yeah, Claire's over there doing this fist pump like she thinks she's anything special. Just it's funny how, you know, when people first open up to you or you open up to them, it's just funny how well received everything is. Like, as someone who's been super, super private about everything in my life for the longest time ever, because I was afraid of being judged or misunderstood or something like that. I mean, just telling people about stuff sometimes is the most helpful thing you can do. And I'm really thankful for that, I guess. And, you know, shout out to the wonderful, I've had some really wonderful teachers. Even if I haven't always done super well in your classes, I've had some life-changing teachers at this school, and I'm really thankful for that.
What do you consider to be some of your great accomplishments in life or in high school, and what are some things that maybe you wish you had done differently?
These all require very long answers that I'm not going to go into. In terms of accomplishments, I mean, one that's probably not as important to anyone else as it is to me, at least, is kind of managing to get over having, I mean, I had some really bad stuff with middle school and having, it's kind of funny because I'm about to give my speech on this stuff. Spoiler!
Yes.
But I had some, in middle school, I just had this really bad social anxiety. And it got so bad that when I was a freshman, I became really depressed and they had to take me to see somebody. And, you know, I got on medication and that really, and, you know, what started having, you know, getting help for it. Because I was really, like, not, I just didn't want to be around anymore, sort of thing. It was bad. And, I mean, people have always known I'm shy. And I think I am shy, it's just part of my personality, but there was a lot that I was hiding just because I was terrified of everything. And that's part of what it's like to have social anxiety. It just kind of tears you apart, like it's awful. But the thing is, I got help from my parents and, you know, medical professionals, I guess, and I sort of found some new hope and reasons to live, sort of thing. And I think I still have a lot to do before I check out, as they say. So I don't know, life sort of has a new meaning. So that is a personal accomplishment that most people don't really know about, but it was really hard for me to get over. And I mean, some days are worse than others, but then, you know, the good days are what's the part that's worth living for. It's so corny. Okay, but in terms of, like, you know, actual accomplishments that other people recognize, I've gotten some art awards that I'm pretty proud of, scholastics and things like that, as have some of my good buddies, including Claire Frankenfield. Oh, that's right, I just pointed you out right there. And I recently got a scholarship to my top choice school, which is Maryland Institute College of Art, Baltimore. And it was for, can I say the amount?
Do you, like, if you are okay with people knowing?
Is that okay?
Don't brag.
I don't want to brag. I don't want to brag, it's okay. I got a big scholarship and I know my parents are happy about it and I'm really happy about it too. Because I feel like all that hard work is paid off. Along with, I made the shoe out of bones. Do you remember the bone shoe? Got the scholastics and then it went to the national thing, so it's going to be in New York for like 2 years. And I mean, it's just kind of like, wow, I'm glad you like my bone shoe. I done made it after we had possum for dinner, and Mama said, I'm going to throw out these bones. And I said, oh, Mama, don't throw out those bones. I'm going to need them for an art project. So then I made me a pretty shoe for the ball.
That you can wear, right?
Of course not. The most uncomfortable thing in the world. Okay, sorry, what was the other question?
Oh, anything that you maybe wish you had done differently?
Nah, I mean, you see those, like, people get tattoos and stuff, and it's like, live life without regrets. I mean, I don't know, I mean, you're just gonna regret things sometimes, but that is a good point, just don't, I mean, it's okay to regret things, it's a natural feeling, but I don't really let myself regret things for too long a period of time, or else it sort of becomes part of you, and it's like, oh, that thing I did, but what, you did a thing? Taylor's done a thing. Taylor's done a thing! Yeah, you know, doesn't really matter, is the point. Life goes on. This too shall pass. I'm being really philosophical.
No, how do you think the people here specifically have kind of changed you or kind of helped you develop your personal views, like positively, negatively?
I guess I've seen both sides of the spectrum. I mean, I've seen ignorance and I've seen tolerance. And I still don't think I have a very good idea of the world just because world is largely people who just really don't even know what's going on. Which, I mean, sometimes it's hard to blame them. They haven't had the opportunities to understand other people's points of view, but it's kind of sad, you know, just considering how much of that stuff is still like sexism and racism. Just plain ignorance are left in the world, but I've been, I think, fortunate to be with a lot of people who are very tolerant of others and share a lot of my beliefs about that sort of thing. And I guess, I mean, I don't want to go back to the teacher thing, but I've had some teachers that, you know, just like little things like showing interest in what I do and like not purposely trying to make me feel uncomfortable in class, because there have been teachers who've done that and have enjoyed it, and this is going right to you. No, but seriously, just Mr. Rudder gave me such a hard time, and I would cry in class. Yeah, but it was so hard for me. It was so hard for me, and but the thing is, like, there were those ones who probably didn't understand to what extent, like, they made me feel terrible and horrible and uncomfortable about myself, but there were ones who I think got some enjoyment from that, some sadistic pleasure. But I want to thank the people who didn't, people who sort of understood where I was coming from and knew that I was listening, even if I was like doodling in class or something, because I just can't help myself. Any more questions?
Oh God, sorry, my mom is just
Preguntas? Preguntas? Do you have any preguntas? Seriously, I have so many questions. No one's gonna watch this. If you made it this far, I applaud you.
How many of you watch?
Yeah, how many have you watched? What advice do you think you would give to underclassmen or to maybe yourself as a freshman, just, you know, starting out?
Can I just have an overall one thing I want to say to everyone?
Yeah.
So long, suckers! Woo! No, that was awful. Underclassmen, just shut up about college, man. If you're a freshman, just shut up. Just shut up. Like, I don't mean to sound like a real jerk here, but I am going to, because you need to stop. Like, there is so much more to life than just college, and I understand we're in a super competitive environment, and your parents are probably pushing you, and you feel like the world is gonna crash down on top of your head, but just don't let it slip away, you know? That college stuff, it can eat away at you. It's crazy. And I know it's a college prep school, but it doesn't mean we have to be thinking about college 24/7 all the time. There are other things you can bring up in conversation, and also just be there for each other, you know? I mean, it's rough. It really is, and, you know, friends help out a lot. So, be a bro and help your homies out.
What do you think you're going to miss the most about Harvard Hall?
How many people have said, I'm gonna miss my friends, because...
A lot of people have said, like, our grade, their friends, the
I like
people.
you guys alright. You're alright. You're alright. Yeah, I'm gonna miss the cohesiveness of our grade. I think we got along pretty well overall. And I'm gonna miss people in general. As weird as that sounds, because I'm not really much of a people person. I'm really glad I got to know y'all. It's been real. And I don't know what I would have done without you. Probably had a better time. Just kidding. But no, seriously though. I'm gonna miss some of the people here. I'm gonna miss a lot of the people here. And it's really pretty campus. I'm gonna miss that. I'm gonna miss our refrigerator-sized lockers we used to have in middle school. And some of the great teachers who really cared about it. Yep.
Final thoughts?
So long, suckers!